there.
Man, he completely lost control. Oh, man. Look at the five-way.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has just delivered the most devastating public rebuke in NASCAR history, and what he revealed about Carson Hocevar's shocking Nashville crash has completely exposed the dangerous path the 22-year-old is heading down that could destroy his career before it even gets started. The intense fallout began after Hocevar's harsh takedown of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in Stage 2 of the Cracker Barrel 400, prompting Dale Jr.'s blunt response that echoed across the NASCAR garage: "Hocevar's reckless driving is on borrowed time." Well, I hear a guy that doesn't know that he ran into the back of somebody and wrecked them, Earnhardt Jr. declared in what can only be described as the most brutal takedown ever delivered on live television, completely dismantling Hocevar's attempt to justify his dangerous driving. The incident that triggered Dale Jr.'s explosive warning was devastating. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. went for a spin on turns 3 and 4 during lap 106. Carson Hocevar, known for his aggressive driving, made contact with Stenhouse Jr. Stenhouse ended up losing control of his car and smashed into the wall. But what made this crash so damaging wasn't just the physical contact. It was Hocevar's complete lack of accountability afterward that pushed Dale Jr. over the edge and forced him to deliver a public warning that will haunt the young driver for the rest of his career. Dale Jr.'s assessment was scathing. "Hey, I'll call it like it is. I like Hocevar a lot. Kid's awesome. Ran second tonight. I like his attitude, I like his personality, and I like his style. But yeah, I think he could have cut the 47 a break, and he chose not to do that." This wasn't just criticism. This was a masterclass in professional disappointment from NASCAR royalty, who has seen enough reckless driving to recognize when someone is heading for disaster. The most damaging part of Dale Jr.'s warning was his prediction about the consequences waiting for Hocevar. That's his way that he wants to race. He's not very apologetic about it. A lot of people are going to love that. A lot of people are going to love how he races and how he does his job. From what I saw tonight, I think he probably could have gave Ricky an opportunity there and continued to race. And he'll have to hear that side from Ricky, and it will be interesting to see how that plays out. The ominous tone of "it will be interesting to see how that plays out" carries the weight of someone who understands exactly what happens when drivers cross certain lines in NASCAR, and Dale Jr.'s warning suggests that Hocevar is walking into a world of trouble he doesn't even see coming. Carl Edwards joined the pile-on with his devastating assessment that revealed just how dangerous Hocevar's mindset has become. He sat up here in the pre-race and said, "Hey, I'm just going to be aggressive. No regrets. I'm going to go. I'm going to get it." And there you see it. And I talked about it a little bit, but there's a price, and it hurts, and I've been there, and it's not fun to be on the receiving end of what's coming. Edwards' warning about what's coming represents the voice of experience speaking to someone who's about to learn some very hard lessons about NASCAR garage politics and driver retaliation. But Dale Jr.'s most devastating blow came when he exposed the fundamental flaw in Hocevar's approach. I just don't like it when he wrecks the good guy, you know? I know Stenhouse has had his issues too, but you kind of got to pick and choose who your enemies are, and you can't just kind of blanket the garage, right? This statement reveals the strategic stupidity of Hocevar's current approach. By taking out popular drivers like Stenhouse, he's not just making enemies. He's making the wrong enemies at the worst possible time in his career. Dale Jr.'s final warning was perhaps the most ominous of all. So, I don't know that I want him to dial it off or dial it back, because it's great as a fan to see him in controversy. We need a little color, we need a little personality, and he brings tons of it. But the garage kind of will police it a little bit. To your point, nobody's really stepped to him just yet, but I think he might have messed with the wrong guy tonight. The phrase, "nobody's stepped to him just yet," is NASCAR code for "the retaliation is coming." And Dale Jr.'s warning that Hocevar might have messed with the wrong guy tonight suggests that the consequences are going to be swift and severe. What makes this situation even more explosive is that Hocevar showed zero remorse for his actions. During his post-race interview with Prime Video, Hocevar said he felt like that was just a common move with how big of a run I had, and did not seem to think he did anything wrong on his end. Carson Hocevar's refusal to take accountability is exactly why Dale Jr. issued a public warning. His reckless driving has been building all season, angering top drivers like Ross Chastain and Ryan Blaney. When a young driver keeps crossing the line without owning up to it, Veterans step in to make sure the message is heard loud and clear. Hocevar isn't just making occasional mistakes, he's systematically alienating the entire garage with his reckless approach, and Dale Jr.'s warning represents the beginning of serious consequences for that behavior. What makes Dale Jr.'s warning so devastating is that it comes from someone who wants to see Hocevar succeed. I like what I see out of Hocevar. As a fan and a broadcaster, it is entertaining. This isn't a veteran trying to destroy a young driver. This is NASCAR royalty trying to save someone from destroying himself. Carson Hocevar's reckless driving is pushing the limits, and NASCAR veterans are warning him. Dale Jr. says, "I don't like it when he wrecks the good guy," while Carl Edwards warns there's a painful price coming. By refusing to pick his battles, Hocevar is making enemies across the garage, and his no-regrets attitude suggests he's ready for chaos, even if it ends up costing him everything. The fact that Hocevar finished runner-up in the race makes Dale Jr.'s warning even more powerful. This isn't about a struggling driver acting out. This is about a talented driver who's sabotaging his success with unnecessary aggression. Carson Hocevar's rough tactics have drawn more attention than his back-to-back runner-up finishes, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. has issued a clear warning: clean it up or pay the price. Coming from a legend whose word carries weight, it's a last chance for the 22-year-old to earn respect before rivals or officials step in. Still early in his career, Hocevar risks throwing it all away if he keeps angering the garage. He's at a fork in the road. Change now or face consequences that could end his rise.
This man, let's take a look. So Hocevar drives down the corner.
I am driving. Oh, man.
And he had a chance to give him a break there.
Okay.
So Hocevar drives down the corner, and there was a moment where Hocevar definitely had an opportunity.
Carson Hocevar almost won his first big race, but one move changed everything. Now other drivers are mad, and some say he might get punched. What did he do that made everyone so angry? Carson Hocevar came painfully close to etching his name in the NASCAR Cup Series history books at the 2025 Cracker Barrel 400 in Nashville. After starting from the 26th, he surged to a second-place finish, his best performance yet. But while the headlines should have praised his grit and strategy, they were instead dominated by controversy. Hocevar's run in Nashville was one of calculated aggression. As the laps ticked down, he climbed through the field with surgical precision, aided by sharp pit strategy and raw speed. When he executed a bold undercut in the final green flag pit stops, he leapfrogged to second, closing in on leader Ryan Blaney. The win was within reach, but it slipped away just 2.8 seconds short due to lapped traffic. A near miss, but a performance worthy of applause, yet applause was in short supply. Why? Because just before that final push, Hocevar made contact with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in Stage 2. A seemingly minor tap from behind sent Stenhouse into the wall, effectively ending his day. It was the kind of moment that separates the seasoned from the reckless. And for Hocevar, it sparked a firestorm. Stenhouse said, "I'd say it's not out of the norm from him, but I definitely wasn't expecting that at that point of the race. It's just a bummer for us." What's even more curious is that Hocevar didn't seem to fully grasp the weight of his action. He shrugged it off post-race, claiming he wasn't sure he even touched Stenhouse. To seasoned fans and drivers, that denial said more than any replay could. It wasn't just a racing incident, it felt like a pattern.
I feel like that was just a common move with how big of a run I had, but I didn't see it. I'm sure he'll want to talk about it. I'll talk about it. We'll look at the replay, but I have no idea until I see it.
The incident didn't go unnoticed. Josh Berry, hot on the radio, fumed. Might finally see the number 77 get punched after that, referencing Hocevar's car. The garage hadn't forgotten Stenhouse's infamous punch to Kyle Busch in 2024. And now, it looked like Hocevar might be next in line.
Go back and watch it.
What's worse, this didn't come out of nowhere. Hocevar has been on the radar for a while. His bold, sometimes reckless style has made him a magnet for drama.